Hello guys, today I'll be going to cover one of the fundamental topic of Core Java, that is identifier. Let's start from the definition of identifier. So what is identifier? Identifier is a name. Okay, so if you can see, identifier is a name in the Java program. Okay, it is a name in the Java program. So what are the names? What is mean by the name? So name is a nothing but, so name can be class name. Okay, name can be variable name. Okay, name can be like a label name. We are using labels, as you know, like, okay, name can be method name. Okay, so we are using some names. Suppose whenever we are writing some functionality, at that time we are giving the proper naming for that method, for that class. So that name is nothing but our identifier. Okay, what is the main purpose of identifier? Okay, purpose of identifier is for identification purpose. Okay, identification purpose. So what is the main goal of identifiers? That is identification. Let's understand with the example. So here, if you can see, I created the class, that public class, that name is identifier convention. So name itself presenting the, I am going to write. Okay, so name itself presenting here, that class is meant for, that class is meant for to explain the terminology of identifier, explain the rules of identifier, how to write identifier, what are the uses of identifier. So that, so that is the main goal. So main purpose or main goal is to identification purpose. Okay, let's let's start further, how, like, what is the use of identifiers and how to identify the whether this is the identifier. Okay, let me add one example. Now let's identify the what are the identifiers we use here. So there is a one basic rule we have to know, or we have to keep in your mind. What is that? So except, let me write here, except, okay, except 53 keyword. Okay, except 53 keywords, all are identifiers. Okay, what I'm saying here, except 53 keywords, all are identifiers. Then what are the keywords? So which is declared already while designing Java language. So that is nothing but like our public, void. Then these are the keywords. So which is highlighted with other color. So if you can see, so this public class, that public static void. So these are the keywords. That means except this all keywords, all are identified. So how many identifiers here? If you can see here, this is identifier because class name comes under the identifier. Then what is this? Main is also under the identifiers. Okay, then this is a string is a predefined class. Okay, so string here, class name is nothing but whether it is predefined or whether it is user defined identified. Okay, so string also comes under the identifiers. Okay, then arguments, so this is a variable, so variable also comes under the identifiers, if you can see here. So class name I covered, method name I covered, then class name, then variable name. So these four are identifiers, okay, out of this program. Others are like keywords, so we are not going to consider. These are the identifiers. Okay, so to, while defining the identifier, okay, while defining the identifier, there are few rules we have to keep in our mind, or we have to follow while writing our day to day. Okay, let's start it. So first rule, what is, like, what is the first rule here? So first rule says only allowed characters in a Java identifiers are allowed characters. So there are some characters, okay, allowed while declaring the identifier. Okay, let me write here allowed character. So what are those allowed character? Okay, so allowed characters are A to Z in a capital. Okay, So first you can use capital, then you can use A to Z in a small. Okay, that is fine. You can use a 0 to 9 in a 0 to 9 digit while declaring your identifier, variable, class name, then label, method, whatever you want. Okay, then you can use special character, that is dollar comma underscore. Okay, so these two special character you can utilize while creating the identifiers. So only these two special character. Apart from these two, we can't use anything. So let me write, let me demo you. So let's create first variable here. Like as per the rule, first you can use A to Z in a capital. So let me write one int and sum. Okay, I use yes as a capital. Yeah, that is fine. Then A to Z in a small. I'll be going to write all in a small. Okay, that is also fine. Then I can use 0 to 9. Okay, while declaring the identifier, I can use 0 to 9 some. Let me write something some 1 to 3. Okay, that is allowed. That is fine. Then let me do one thing here. So yeah, some under, so dollar and underscore. Okay, so all rules are satisfied here. There is no compilation error. So see, now if I use except this one, so suppose let me write one more variable name with other special character. So I'll be going to give the hash. It will not work. Why? See, except these two, all are invalid. Only these two are allowed here. So what are those? That is dollar and underscore are allowed here. So see, what is there? Variable sum is already defined something. So that means this kind of errors we are getting here. Okay, so let's delete this first. Not required this variable because we are not, the compiler will not allow to declare this variable here. Okay, so let's talk about the next rule. So what is the next rule here? Let me write a 2. Yeah, here if we are using any other character, we will get the compilation error. Yeah, as I discussed, so that is next rule. If we are using other character, okay, other character means if we are using some special character, those are only allowed characters, are only allowed characters are, let me write char, are dollar comma underscore. This two characters only allowed here. So this is second rule. Let's talk about the third rule here. So what is third rule? The third rule says, so Java identifiers are case sensitive. As you know, Java itself is a case sensitive. Okay, Java follows the case sensitive. So there are other programming languages are not following a case sensitivity here, but Java itself follows the case sensitivity. Case sensitivity. Okay, let's talk about the what is case sensitivity. Suppose let me delete this one. Suppose I'll be going to write some. Okay, so this is one, and I'll be going to write some income. So both are different. Okay, suppose let's do one thing here. Mm, let's write 10, let's write 20. Let me write main method here, int static int. So we cannot access instance variable inside the static area directly, so that's why I declare this variable as a static. And let's write a yes out statement and print this two statement. Okay, so this one. Okay, let me execute this program here. Let it be built first. Yeah, so you can see output is like sum in capital, so printed 20 and 10. So both are different. That means Java follows the case sensitivity. Okay, so both variables are different here. So here identifiers identifiers are case sensitive. Okay, identity are case sensitive. Okay, so identifiers are case sensitive. So this is the third rule. Let's talk about the fourth rule. So what is fourth rule? So here, if you can say, while declaring the identifier, there is no length limit for a Java identifier. Okay, there is no length limit for the Java identifier. Suppose if I am going to write one variable name, so like suppose sum, and I'll be going to give something. In C and C++, there is some limit while declaring variable name. So that is something 32 character only allowed or something. I don't remember that. But in a C or C++, there is a restriction while declaring the identifier or variable name. But in a Java, there is no restriction. Okay. But it is not recommended to take lengthy identifiers. It is not recommended as per your recommended. Okay. Suppose when, see, when I'm going to declare something, so that should be a meaningful. Okay, by reading that, that reader will get the understanding, so that variable is declared for this purpose. So here I declare this class name, so I'm getting, or other people if read this one, so that people also get idea. Yeah, this identifier class is declared for to identify or defines the identifier conventions. Okay, how to write a identifier, then how to like how to, what is the use of identifier. So this kind of uh, meaning, okay, meaning recite, like we have to define. Okay, this kind of meaning we have to define while declaring the identifiers here. Okay, so this is the fourth rule, that is length issue. Can be take any length, can be take any length. Okay, so now let's talk about the fifth one. So fifth rule. So what is fifth rule here? So we cannot use reserve keyword here. So what are the reserve keyword? As I talk here, except 53 keyword, all are identifiers. Okay, we cannot this keyword as a reserve, as identifier. So suppose I use some switch, it will not allow, because this is a keyword. Correct. If I use a for is a keyword, so this is not allowed. So only, like, except 53 or some keywords, so there are some enhancement will be there in keyword in further Java versions. New keywords get introduced, so that's why I'm not going to talk about directly 53. But yeah, in future, or till the current version, new enhancement will be there. So that's why, as I know that 53 will be there, so that's why I'm talking 53 keywords are there. But we cannot take this keyword as identifier. Okay, we cannot take keywords as a identifier, like cannot take keywords as a identifier. Okay, so cannot take keywords as a identifier. So let's talk about the third rule, like physics rule. What is it? So as I explained here, like when we identify the this keywords, like this identifies from our program. So this is our class name, this is our method name, and this is our class name. But this is the predefined class name. Okay, this is developed by Java people, already developed by Java people. Okay, as I mentioned while explaining this, like class name, okay, identifier can be predefined on the class name. Okay, identifier can be predefined and user defined class name, anything. Okay, So we, while declaring the identifier, we can use predefined classes name as well. Okay, we can use predefined class name or classes names. Let me classes names as well. Okay, but let me give you an example. Suppose I am going to, so this will not give an error because as I mentioned, like identifier can be predefined or user defined. So whatever it is, we can use it. But this is not a good programming practice. This is not a good programming practice. Why? Because it creates a confusion while declaring. Suppose we declare this class name as a string, then we already have the class name as a string. So this will create the confusion here. So always avoid using this predefine anything, predefine any classes and variables. So like to make your code clean and readable. So in that case, we have to follow this kind of 6 rule. And yeah, that's all about the identifiers, guys. Please watch this session carefully. So I'll be going to share, or I'll be going to cover other identifiers, or sorry, other fundamentals chapter as well. So that is reserve keyword, what are the reserve keyword, then what are the data types, literals, arrays, then type of variables, hierarchy method. So this is enhancement of a like enhancement of a 1.5 version of a dedicate, and main method enhancement which is come in 1.5, then command line argument, what are the command line argument, and then other coding standards. So how to write the code and what are the new things. Okay, so that's all going to be covered in further sessions. So keep watching these sessions, okay, one by one. Thank you, guys.